Vaheguru 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 Vaheguru
कबीर गूंगा हुआ बावरा बहरा हुआ कान पावो ते पिंगल पया मारिया सतगुर बान सुत्या गुर सालाहिया उठदिया पी गुर आलाओ कोई ऐसा गुरमुख जे मिले हों ताके तोवा पाओ कोई ऐसा सज्जन लोड़ लेहो मैं प्रीतम दे मिलाए सतगुर मिलिए हर पाया मिलिया सहज सुभाए मिलिया सहज सुभाए। गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी दे हाजिर भी साजी नवाजी गुरु पै सासंग जी रमल के फतेह बुलाने जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Satsang ji, last week we got up to the end of the third body of Anand Sahib. Jera ki every Sikh reads every day twice. The 6 body Anand Sahib at least come up twice a day now in Nitnem. So Maharaj is telling us ki enu dhyan naal rakho. We finished off ki naam jinke man vasya वाजे शब्द कनेरी। Maharaj says, O सच्चे साहिब सच्चे साहिबा क्या नहीं करते रे। That was the body that we finished off with. Our heart, our body is that home. ये साडे घर दी गल नहीं हो रही है ना। And ओदी, we're not even talking about his house, we're talking about our house. If you come and stay here, if you reside here, then what is it that I can't get from you? And Maharaj says ki naam jinke kar vasya. So naam is come to reside inside our house. Someone like myself, naam might come and visit me, hai na? Aanda hai, fir chale janda hai. It's come to visit, maybe if I come to Amrit Vela or some Kirtan program. But Maharaj is talking about that person who spends his whole time in naam. Naam jinke man vasya. It's not visiting anymore, it's taken root and it's starting to live in that person's heart. Our Kar is our heart, and the hope is that with Guru Sahib's Kirpa, then Naam will come and sit inside our heart all the time. This is what we're trying to do. And which Shabad will come and sit in our house? Bhai Gurdas Ji says Vajje Shabad. Bhai Gurdas Ji talks about Vajje Shabad Kaneri, and they say to us ki Dharamsal Kartarpur Sad Sangat Sachkhand Vasaya. The Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj made Kartarpur, and the Sad Sangat, that was Sachkhand. And in Sachkhand ki hoya siga Vaheguru Gur Shabad Sunaya. That this Vaheguru Gur Mantar, this is also Gur Shabad. So when we say ki Vajje Shabad Kanere, we could mean ki Shabad na Guru Shabad Vaheguru. Then Shabad our Guru is given us for calling Vaheguru. That Shabad Vajda rehna Kanere many times. Or Rukadani. The person is reminded by God. Bhai Gurdas Ji says ki if you remember Guru Sahib once, he will make you remember him hundreds of times. And the same way we're sitting here in Satsangat, if we remember him now, then he will inspire us for the rest of the week to remember him. Ye hafta hi hai na? Hafta hai. If we keep coming every week to Katha and start remembering him, if we start coming every day maybe to Amrit Vela, we start doing our part every day, for the rest of the day then, we want him to stay in our house. We called him, but now we want him to stay there. When we stop thinking about him, we don't want him to stop reminding us of himself. Sometimes when you call a guest to your house, when they come to your house, you might have to go to work, but the guest is still in your house. When you come home in the evening, he's still going to be there. In the same way, if we call him here, then he will stay in our house. Gyani Kulwant Singh, very good Kathavachik, he was talking about this. He said, Dekho, we need the good Shabad from our Guru. So the Sikh is there, the Guru is there. But in between, you need this thing called Bhag, fortune. Sade Bhag hon, ta sanu mil sakda haiga. Because, you know, many times we think, I am a Sikh, I have a Guru, but how come I haven't got this? And what he was saying is that Guru Sahib has the power to give naam. Kya nahi kar tere. Everything is in your house. But are we ready for it? And for a Sikh, the Bhag is the place for naam. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਵਸਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਨਾ, ਸਫਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਆਇਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਭੋਗ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ. ਇੱਕ ਹਮ ਅਨੇਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਭੋਜਨ ਭੋਗ ਕੀਏ, ਬਹੁ ਬਿੰਜਨ ਮਿਸ਼ਟਾਏ, ਕਰੀ ਪਾਕ ਸਾਲ ਸੋਚ ਪਵਿੱਤਰਾ, ਹੁਣ ਲਾਵੋ ਭੋਗ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ. ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੋਗ ਤਾਂ ਲਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਭੋਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. It's not saying to ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾ ਲਵੋ. What we're saying is, Maharaj, I've done a lot of hard work. ਮੈਂ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕਰਤੀ. I've done a lot of safai inside my house. Kari paak saal soch pavitra. I made this kitchen nice and clean. Dil vich, hirde nu. And then, ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਖਾਓ. Come and enjoy me, come and sit in my house. In the same way, he has everything. But we have to prepare that place in Sikhi by seva, by simran, by part, by living a good life. Ek kam karke, we made the safai. Then he can come and stay inside us. Guruji can put naam there. Maharaj says, Sachta par janiye, ja jugat jane jiyo, tart kaya sadke, which de karta biyo. They say you will find the Sach you will find how? If you know the method. And the method they tell us here is Tart kaya sadke. Tarti. The body, the kaya, is the tarti. It's a tarta kaya sadke. Like a farmer, before he grows the crop, he takes out all the rocks. He makes that soil ready. In the same way, all of us have to treat our body in the same way. Unu saad karke. Make it prepare. Hon dekho, if you've come now to the Gurdwara, at the same time right now, there's people sitting at home at 6 p.m. and they're drunk. Is that body prepared for naam? Nashiv chagi hai. Where is their mind going to be? It's not going to be in the right place, is it? It's not ready for the naam. So Maharaj, tat kaya sadke. Kaya nu tarti samajh ke, unu sad karo, unu tiyar karo, which de karta biyo. Then put the seed of Vaheguru inside it. What is that seed for us? Vaheguru. Say the name. That's the seed. And so many people are here in the Sangat. Kai saal ho gaya. But you know the first thing that they put inside themselves is that saying Vaheguru. Akho Vaheguru. 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 Bhai Maharaj says, do the hard work and then beg for naam. Kya nahi karte re can be a benti. मैं ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਹੁਣ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਮੈਨੂੰ, ਦੇ ਦਿਓ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ. ਵਿਸਰ ਨਾਹੀ ਦਾਤਾਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਦੇਹੋ, ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਾਂ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਾਓ ਇਹੋ. ਸਾਡੀ ਚਾਓ ਹੋਵੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਪਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੰਗ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. It won't go then. It's up to us to make the preparation, have the right desire, and then it's up to him to give it. ਉਹ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ. Then Maharaj starts off by saying in the fourth body, Sacha naam mera adharo. Maharaj said the true name now, Sacha naam mera adharo. Now, adhar means support. and Naam we know means name. Sacha here is like Sacha, true, true. Now what is Sach? To understand Sach, first we have to understand ki Sacha Sahib. If it's a name of somebody, then he must, who is he then? If his name is true, then he must also be true. Pehla Sahib Sacha हैगा, ते फिर उदा ना सच्चा हैगा. Sacha Sahib, Sach nae, Bhakhya Pao Apar. If his name is true, then he must also be true. And because he is true, then his name is true. Waheguru is Sach. Waheguru's name is Sach. So in the same way our Guru is Sach, because our Guru is teaching us about him. And Gurbani is also Sach. Gavo Sachi Bani. All these things for us are the truth. Our Guru is that true master who's made us joined to the true one. And the opposite of Sach then is what? Some people say falsehood. Maharaj says good. Illusion, falsehood. Nanak Sach te ayan Sach, jo mar jamme so kachin kach. The people who remember him, they are true. Nanak Sach te ayan Sach. O Sach हैगा, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ. Those who remember him, he is true. Those who remember him, they are also true. And then they get mukti. But the ones that don't get mukti, jo mar jamme, those that die and that are reborn, so kachana kach. They are the false of the false. So to be such means to be get mukti as well. The opposite to kach then, such then is kuda, is fake, kachana kach. Maharaj says, देखो पाप भी माड़ा हैगा. Paap is also falsehood. Asa Diwali Maharaj बहुत बारी ना सच दी गल करते हैगे. There's a very nice story all about such. उत्थे Maharaj कहने सच्चता पर जानिए जे हृदय सच्चा होए कूड़ की मल उतरे तन करे हच्छा धोए. They say you will find such je hriday sacha hoye. If your inside becomes such, tha hondi na, there's a place for it. Kood ki mal uttare, mal of falsehood, ki dunya di mal will remove. Tan kare hachha toy. Then the body is now prepared. The tan is now washed with naam. The tan is now washed with sach. And now it's ready then for Maharaj to come in. Because jagat sachi hoye, tahi sacha asada hega. Sachiar. Ehi same gal hegi. Sacha, Maharaj is sach, so we want to become sachiar. Kev sachiara hoiye, kev kude tutte pal. Maharaj said this is our main point of our life, to cross over. And Maharaj said, Sacha naam mera adharu. The main point of our life is to become true. And the main support then, asra. Adhar means asra. The main support of our method, our aim to get across, is naam. Jive, the boat. If you want to cross over an ocean, that boat is your support that crosses you across. In the same way, naam is our jahaj. Naam is saying Maharaj, naam is our boat to cross over. And Bani, because we said that Sach is our Guru, Sach is Gurbani. In the same way, then Bani is our support. Dekho, Maharaj is telling us all the time, we talked about Mao, Meri Mai, Ananda Pya Meri Mai. It's a very nice talk. Maharaj says, Main Satgur Seti Pirhadi, Kyo Gur bin Jiva Mao. They say, I'm in love with my Guru. How can I live without him or my mother? Meri Mai, how can I live without my Guru? Main Gurbani Adhar hai, Gurbani lag raha hu. Maharaj says, Gurbani is my support. And I live while I'm attached to Gurbani. So if we Sacha naam mera adharo, for a Sikh that means Sachi Bani is also my adhar. Because Bani is from him and Bani is him. He is Bani. If we stick to Bani, then Gurbani kya hai? Sevak jan mane par takh Guru nistare. He will save us if we stick to him. Now some people in the Sangat, some people I've met, पाठ भी करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, फिर भी डरते हैं कि मैंने मुक्ति नहीं मिलनी. Maharaj is telling us, देखो, if you follow Gurbani na, why won't he save you? If He is Sacha, and His word must be Sacha as well, if we are following Him, why won't we get mukti? Ki Guru de dhokha deta sarna. Is Guru a cheater? He promises the world but He can't deliver? No. Man says, Bani Guru, Guru hai Bani, which Bani Amrit Sare. The mukti is Amrit. Amrit means mukti, hai na? To not die. Gurbani keh, sevak jan mane, partak Guru nistare. This is the prize on offer if we follow our Guru to swim across. That was the main focus of our life anyway. We talked about Rara Sabon Hoya. Masar ki pai parapat manuk de horiya gobind milan ki eh teri bariya. Avar kaaj tere kite na kaam mile saad sangat bhaj keval naam. Sacha naam mera adharo. To get across this ocean then, the only thing that's going to help us is naam. And that is our support. Maharaj kehne ki this is going to be my adhar. And it has become his adhar, Maharaj says. Naam has become our adhar. When we can say these words in truth, when we can say these words to our Guru ki Maharaj, Sacha naam mera adharo. Ida matlab we recognize what it is. We understand it is our boat. We understand that if I let go of naam na, I will drown. If I hold on to it, I will swim across. इस चीज़ ਨੂੰ समझना बड़ा जरूरी हैगा. सुन लेता मनना औखा है. जपजी साहब कहते ना, सुनिया फिर मन्निया फिर मन कीता पाओ. So create love. फिर मन लो that naam is the only thing that's going to get me across. Us to upranth na, after that, then we can come to our Guru and say ki Maharaj, I need naam then. Deho naam santokhiya. Utre man ki pukh. Because Maharaj carries on to say ki Sach naam adhar mera jin pukha sab gawaiyan. They say Sach naam mera adhar hai. And what do I do? What do I get if I make this my support in life? Jin pukha sab gawaiyan. It's my only support. It's my only shelter. And if I have this, then it takes away all of my pukha. Not dukh. Maharaj says pukh. Sometimes we don't focus on the word itself. We're so used to saying it. We're all looking because we got dukh. But we also need to think that we have got pukh as well. To complete the pukh. Why does Maharaj talk about hunger? Because the body is full of hunger for things in this world. Maya di pukh. Japji Sahib Maharaj shuru vich kehta ki pukhya pukh na utri je banna puriya par. We always pukhe. Dekh lo, you get a nice car, neighbor gets a better car, you start thinking my car's not so nice anymore. You have a nice house, you're happy with it, you go to somebody else's house, same kind of job, same kind of age as you, they don't got a bada sona hai gar. Fir kar aake, your house seems a bit small, bit cramped. Jithe assi khush sige, uthe khushi gayi, uthe pukh aa gayi. Pukh naal ki hoya? Dukh aa gaya. We were happy, we didn't need anything. Then the hunger came. As the hunger came, then we got unhappy as well. Unhappiness is attached to pukh, to hunger. We get absorbed into Maya. It's like a slippery slope. The pukh, slippery slope into Maya. But if the pukh is gone now, we won't slip down. Je pukh chali gayi. If we lose the pukh, then there's no more slippery slope. Imagine you're on a high up in the mountain, huh? I saw this picture, crazy path high up in the mountain, people are crossing it to get to some place. In those top places, they only have a little rope, dodgy little path. When you're walking across that little thing, that rope that you're holding on to now, that's your adhar. That rope is going to be naam, sacha naam mera adharo, sach naam adhar mera, jin pukha sab gawaiyan. If we let go of that rope, we will go down the slope towards pukh. If we hold on to the rope of naam, फिर साडे कोल ओ नहीं आनी, the pukh. That's what Kabir ji says कि Kabir जह मार्ग पंडित गए पाछे परी बहीर. They said the pandits now, pandit they mean here by the average religious person. In those times, ritualism. People have gone down the path of ritualism. They believe that in this world, if you give money to the Gurdwara to your Khand Path, that's your Aadhar. Look, why should I give money to the Gurdwara? Maharaj is not asking for money. Maharaj is asking for you to say, Sacha naam mera Aadhar ho. Not the peta to my Guru is my Aadhar. All the tax on that. No one gets a thank you letter for tax. To support him, to make him your master, Kabir ji says, Ek avgad kaati Ram ki teh chad rahe ho Kabir. He says everybody is following the way of the Pandit. Loads of people. But there is one dodgy, high up path. Okhi sadak hegi hai, jithe Kabir tur raha hai. Kabir is climbing that awkward path. And that awkward path needs to have such naam as the rope that keeps you on it. And the book will not be satisfied any other way. You might think it might be, but Maharaj tells us ki nahi hona. Maharaj says, Kiv sachiara hoye, kiv kude tutte pal, hukam rajai chalna, nanak likhya naal. Bhai Gurdas Ji says about hukam rajai chalna, they say, hukam rajai chalna, gurmukh gadi rah chalaya. They say, what is hukam rajai chalna? The hukam rajai chalna is this, gurmukh gadi rah chalaya. Gadi rah means siddha, the straight path. It's okha, as if you're going to go up a mountain, the road does not go up the mountain, road goes like this. Okha ya siddha charna utte. But it's the fastest way as well. Sikhi is the same way, okhiya, but it is the fastest way as well. Gurumukha gadi rah chalaya. To follow the Guru is to follow the hard, straight path, straight to God. No dodginess, no going this way and that way. Many Hindus will say, well, we don't believe in Devi Devte really. Do you know when you're in the West, people are very skeptical. So when they come on the speeches now, they say, we don't really believe in Devi Devte. They're like manifestations of God. We worship them, but we say we have to transcend them one day. Kehte hain ki ek din sanu Devi Devta nu paar charna padega. But pata ki hai, okha hai Rab ko siddha jana. So we go through Devi Devte first. Oh, you got banegi, Gadi Rani hega. It's not a straight path. They're going this way to this Devi Devte, then that way, then that way, and then they finally remember there is one. But how many people are lost along the way? Bahut sare gum gaye na. A lot of people got stuck along the way. But those that went the straight path, they knew there's only one way to go, straight up towards one. Gurmukh Gadi Rah Chalaya. So this is the path for us. Sacha naam mera adharo, sach naam adhar mera jin pukha sab gawaiyan. Naam de naal sari pukha utar janiyan. And what will happen if we make this into if the naam becomes our support, if we get rid of all of our pukh, then Maharaj explains next. Kar sant sukh man aaye vasya, jin ichha sab pujaiyan. They say, karke. Kar here, the first word means karke. Because of. Karke sant sukh. Because of this then, I get shant, shanti and sukh. And dekho, when we got pukh, we've got no shanti. So if you think about it, you can't sit quietly if you're hungry. Kabir ji says na in Bani, he goes, Pukhe pagat na kije, ye mala apni lije. They say, I can't do bhakti on pukha. Take your mala from me, I can't do bhakti. Mujhe le lo wapas mala. Pukhe pagat na kije, ye mala apni lije. But Kabir ji says something even more interesting afterwards to explain to us what they are pukha for. Kehne ho mango santan rena, main nahi kise ka dena. They say, I want my pukha for the dust of the saints' feet. Mainu o do. But fir bhi, us pukh vich, without getting sad sangat de santan ki rena, without sad sangat, kehne mainu mala bhi na le lo, mere to le lo. First give me sad sangat, fir main jaan japanga. Pukhe pagat na kije. When it's a pukh inside us, we can't sit down and do part. It's very hard. Because of this, because pukha sab gawaiyan, then Maharaj has taken the pukh away, then what happens because of that? That we get santi and sukh, peace and tranquility, and man aaye vasya. Now this, you can put a comma here. Jive o kehne na in Gurbani, you have to know where to put the you have to put bisram. Where do you pause? So here, many people say kar sant sukh man aaye vasya. What they say is that in the man, shanti and sukh has come to reside. But you can also say it this way, you can say kar sant sukh man aaye vasya. Kehdi cheez man vich vas gayi? Naam vas gaya. Naam vas gaya. Because of that, fir santi bhi sukh bhi aa gaya. And then jin ichha sab pujaiyan. Because of that naam that's now come inside my mind, all my ichhavan, all my desires have been fulfilled. Puja can also mean fulfilled or equal to. They've been equal, they've been completed. Now, the thing is some people read this, they think, wah, meri sari ichhayan pujatiyan. We got a lot of desires. Guru Sahib can fulfill all my desires. They go, main leke aaun fir list. I come to Gurdwara, nice fat list, hai na, Maharaj, I want a nice BMW, mera 5 bedroom car hove, everything else you want. Come to Gurdwara, say, look, Guru Sahib, you said, ki jin ichha sab pujaiyan. But how can we fulfill all our desires? Can everybody in this world fulfill all their desires? No. Too many desires, isn't it? Economics, the first lesson they teach in economics is, the world is full of people that have got unlimited wants. We only have limited resources. Yeah? Now, there's 2 ways you can get rid of it, you can fulfill a desire. The first one is to give you the thing that you are looking for. And the second is to remove the desire. When the desire goes, bas, gal gayi. Jiਵੇਂ sometimes a child na, when bache, I've got kids, so I always thinking about my kids. The kid is crying for something really badly, you know? And what do parents do if they can't give it to him or her? They distract him. What they look over there. The thing that doesn't work with adults, it works with kids. Show them something clever, wow, and they go, and then they've forgotten. Ichha gayi. So there's not crying anymore. Dukh is gone as well. Kar sant santi aa gaya, sukh bhi aa gaya, because the ichha is now gone away. Guru Sahib is the same. They can take away what you currently want, and then what will happen is you will get shanti. Many people are happy in small houses. Many people are happy with small cars. And the people that are rich, they feel, I wish I had that happiness. They can't have it because they've got so many desires. But they think, isn't this nice? You know, you watch these programs, the rich people, they go across to the Amazon and stuff, and they look at them sitting there in the little hut, chopri ke lo. They're just going out hunting every day, and they're so happy. They're so happy with their normal life. And we think about ourselves back here. We got all the things we want, washing machines, dishwashers, everything. Hoovers. But fir bhi asi kuch nahi. Fir bhi there's so much depression and stuff in this world. And the question here is, where does happiness come from? Guru Sahib is saying, kar sant sukh kive man aaye vasya. Jin naam vas jave, fir jin ichha sab pujaiyan. It will fulfill all our desires. And Maharaj, when you talk about Shanti, if you can relate it to what we talked about in Japji Sahib, we talked about the Satapumika, the 7 stages. And one of the stages is when you actually get this Shanti. And they describe it like a lake. And a lake which has got no more waves. Just Shant lake. If we can imagine for ourselves mentally what that would look like, we can imagine that Utte Shanti hegi hai, if that lake is totally tranquil. This is the stage that somebody reaches. They get to, it's called Tanumansa or Satapati, one of the two, and the lake is tranquil. And this can only happen, these desires can only go if we go through Naam. Ichha Sapujayam. Gani Kulwant Singh gave an example. They said, Dekho, if you take a piece of paper and you put it into water, it will just dissolve after some time. It will become very soft, very weak. You can't do anything with this paper. It's ruined. But if you take that paper and you dip it in ghee, kyo, dip it in kyo, oil or desi butter, yeah? Put it in there, and then you take it and you put it into water now the water will not touch that paper. It won't touch it. The water rolls right off. Why? It's like grease-proof paper. Pain doesn't stay on it. The benefit of having Naam as your Adhar is that you are full of it, and then you don't burn in the world. The same way a cotton wool, you can dip it into water, it becomes soft. This ocean of water. But if you dip it in oil, you can set fire to it. A cotton wool will not burn. The wool stays there, the oil burns, but the wool itself remains solid. The same way, if we dip ourselves in Naam, if we touch our Naam Mera Adharo, then the fire of the world, the pani of the world, it won't affect us. And that's why Maharaj says, Brahmgyani sada nirlep. The Brahmgyani is always nirlep, is not attached. Jaise jal mein kamal alep. Like in the water, the lotus flower stays unattached. The thing is, there is happiness in this Shanti, Sukh haiga, but not everybody wants this happiness. Many people say, this is a very boring life. Ek kinsi zindagi hegi hai. Be happy with what you've got, rather than want more. In fact, many people who are very successful, they'll come upon a person who is a Gurmukh, who's very happy with their life, and they will say, look at this person. He's not even ambitious. Kuch chaunda bhi nahi. They say, la, pity this person, doesn't want to achieve anything. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj describes themselves. They say, what am I like? I'm involved in the world, but what am I really like? Maharaj says, Sach naam mera man laga, logan syo mera thata baga. They say, Jidda na, when Naam got attached to my mind, Sach naam mera man laga, then logan syo mera thata baga. My dealings, thata means dealings, is very superficial then. Milda hai, hanji theek hai bas. I'm not interested. Logan syo. Phir bahar soot sagal syo maula. Outside na, I'm a good child and I'm on good terms with everybody. But phir bhi andro, alpat raho jaise jal meh kaula. But I'm still unattached, like that lotus flower is in the water. So people like this, the rest of the world thinks are weird, because they don't look like they're attached to anything. Na moh haiga, na krodh haiga. All these things, they're not in their mind. They don't seem to get upset when somebody cusses them. They don't seem to look at all the girls when they walk past them. Many people will look at this person, they go, what's up with this person? Nothing interesting about him. But why? They are attached to Naam. Last week we talked about, Fariji says, the sugar, butter, dudh from a maj, all these things are very sweet. Sabbe vastu mithiya, rabna pujan tudd. Why, Guru? They're not equal to you. This person is attached to Naam, and the rest of the things in the world don't attach them so much, don't attack them so much. Well, luckily, because there's more than one of us in Basic Sikhi now, Bali Singh sent me a tuk this morning about this Shabad. He goes, there's Sukhmani Sahib, not Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. They talk about what is Pukh. They call it Jin Pukha Sab Gavaiyan Kar Sant Sukh Man Aaye Vise Ichha Sab Pujaiyan. They say you can twist this around. What can Guru do? In Sukhmani Sahib, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj says to us, Brahmgyani ki jis man pukh, Nanak tise na lage dukh. Now twist it around. That person who has book for Vaheguru, Par Brahm ki jis man pukh. That person who has book for Vaheguru, then what happens to them? Then they gets fulfilled. The book gets fulfilled by Guru Sahib. Nanak tise na lage dukh. Then they don't get any dukh either. The best book to have is a book for Vaheguru. And Maharaj says, if I get this, Maharaj, you can fulfill my desires for Naam, you can fulfill my desires in this world, you can take away the desires I don't need, you can give me happiness, you can give me peace, all these things you can give me, so what should I do to you? Main thoda ki karan? What should I do for you, Maharaj? What does Guru Sahib say to us? Sada kurban kita Guru vitto ho jis diya eh vadiyaiyan. Well, Maharaj, in that case, I am a sacrifice to you. Sada, not just once, not just one day on a Sunday, forever and ever, I am a sacrifice to you, Guru Sahib, because you do all these things, and that's your greatness. No one else can do them. Koi hor nahi kar sakda. No one else can take away all our desires. Dekh lo, in this world even, people who are married, they think that when they get married, the person other side will fulfill all their desires. But this is not where it comes from. Maharaj says you both must go around Guru. Don't go around yourselves, go around Guru. Make Naam your Adhar in this world together, and your desires that you don't need, they'll get taken away, and the ones that you do need will get fulfilled. And that's our Guru's greatness. Jistiya ehe vadiyaiyan. Guru di vadiyaiyan hegiyan. So because of those vadiyaiyan, we are qurban of our Guru. I would die for such a Guru. And Maharaj explains this Sukhmani Sahib again. Maharaj says, Gur ke grahe sevak jo rahe, Gur ki agya man mein sahe, Man beche satgur ke paas, tis sevak ke karj ras. They say, if you become a sacrifice to your Guru, if you sell your mind to your Guru, Man beche satgur ke paas, then as a Sikh, you'll be a sevak. When you sell your mind to him, you'll be a sevak. David Beckham's got people that work for him, but some people should be working for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Not aspiring to work for David Beckham, but aspiring to work for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And when you sell yourself to him, then you can achieve the greatest tis sevak ke karj ras. The work you come here to fulfill in this world, it will come to fruition. Oda ras milega, profit milega. Gur ke grahe sevak jo rahe. What will you have to do though? If you want to live in his house, if you want to be a servant and live in his house, then Gur ki agya man mein sahe. We'll have to accept his agya, his orders, what he's saying to us. And Maharaj finished off saying, Keh Nanak suno santo, sabad taro pyaro, sacha naam mera adharo. Maharaj says, I'm speaking now. Suno santo. Dekho, Maharaj says Keh Nanak many times. But this time, they're speaking to the saints. Who are they speaking to? To Sadh Sangat. Those people that are interested to listen to Guru Sahib, they are the sons. Guru Sahib says, Jere meri updesh sunne vaste tyaar hai na, ek tarike na santi ban gaye mere vaste. They've come here to listen to Maharaj, so they started to walk this Sant ka marg taram ki pauri. This is Sant ka marg. So everybody who is walking this path, who believes in this Gadi Raha, is effectively on this road of becoming a Sant. Now some people say, no, I'm not going to become a Sant, bro. I'm not that jogi, main na jogani. But it's not about becoming a Sant, it's about walking the path of the Sant. As long as they're walking the path as a sevak, as a servant of our Guru, then Maharaj will keep on saving us. There's no need for us to fulfill the entire thing. As long as we walk the path, our Guru is Samrat. He can save us if we follow his path. So, Keh Nanak suno santo. Listen carefully, O Sadh Sangat, including myself. Listen carefully to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Keh Nanak. Not anybody else. Guru Nanak is speaking now. I know it's Guru Amar Das Ji, but he is Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak speaks. Very important to listen to him. Meri nahi gal. Keh Nanak suno santo shabad taro pyaro. O pyaro, O my beloved, Maharaj says shabad taro pyaro. What does tar mean? Tar means to take on something and enshrine it. Kisi cheez nu tar karna. Make it solid. Shabad taro pyaro. Shabad taro means ki Guru da shabad. Vahe Guru. Guru shabad sunaya. Make that shabad solid inside you. On everybody, every Guru Sikh should live for this desire, that Guru da shabad na mere vich bajde rave. Let Guru's shabad always be vibrating in my heart. Sometimes we forget. Most of the time we forget. So Maharaj says, Akha jiva visre mar jao. Akhan aukha sachana. Hai aukha to control the mind, make it say Vaheguru's name. But if we get to that avastha where it goes on us, Maharaj kehte pyar na kehde hai ki, O pyareo, make this shabad strong inside you. Shabad taro and then pyaro. Now another meaning of pyaro is this. Ki Maharaj is saying to us, kyunki ithe shabad de sihari hegi hai. If you look at the word shabad up on the screen, you will see that it has a sihari. That means through the shabad. Through the shabad, taro, kehdi cheez nu taro? Pyaro. Pyar ode vaste. If you go through the shabad, you will get love for him. Sunya, manya, man kita, pao. If we accept it, listen to it, accept it, the next thing that will be created by going through the shabad is pyar. Shabad taro, pyar o. Ode pyar. Oda pyar aa jayega. So by through the shabad, to the Guru's shabad we can enshrine love for Vaheguru. And the Maharaj says, if this happens then, if you go through pyar for the Guru's shabad, for the Vaheguru mantra, what will happen to you? Sacha naam mera adharo. Then you will say these words and you will believe them. Ki yes, my Guru, in this world I know that your name is my support. If I leave your name now, I know I will fall down that slippery slope and I will drown. Dekho, in every sixth life now, there's going to be times when we are tested. Every sixth life, there's going to be times when we feel we are very far away from our Guru. Very true, it's going to happen. But then we have to go back to saying His name. At that moment in time when you feel far away from Him, that's the time to hold on to that rope and say, Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Mainu bacha lo. Sacha naam mera adharo. Your name is my asra. Your name is my shelter. Your name is my support. So now Maharaj, and the worldly fire is attacking around me, the fire is burning all around me, let me be absorbed in your name. Your name will save me. So what we're going to do now is do 5 minutes of Simran, because if we go through Simran, then we can be attached to Him. Maharaj's used this very nice word here, Mera. Sacha Naam, Mera Adharo. When Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj wrote this, they're telling us what they're thinking. Apni gal kare na? Sacha Naam, Mera Adharo. And a Sikh is trying to say the same words by looking through the Guru's eyes, Ki Sacha Naam, Mera Adharo. Before we come into Sikhi na, Sacha Naam is not our Adhar. Because we're coloured in the world. Maybe we don't even realize it's possible for us. It's possible for us ki naam bhi koi cheez hai, atma bhi koi cheez hai. We don't even realize that there is this thing inside us like a soul. So there's a Shabad by Guru Amar Das Ji. They explain what we are really like. They say we are like a tree. Nanak tarvar ek fal. They say on this tree of your mind, there is one fal. The fal is the fruit on the tree. But they say, but there's two birds. Doe pankheru ahe. There's two birds. Now, when we are involved in the world, we think there's only one bird inside us, our mind. We follow whatever the mind is telling us to do. Maharaj says, nahi, there's two. There's something else inside you that also wants to enjoy the fal, the fruit. But, then they say, ki aavad jaat na disei na par pankhi tahe. But these birds now, you can't see when they come and go, they got no wings on them. Ida matlab eh hoya, most of us are seeing ourselves just one bird, the bird that's involved in Maya. We don't even realize there's this other bird on our tree. And this other bird also exists. Atma. Our soul also wants to do something, but the mind wants something. Maharaj says, what is this situation? One of them, Baurangi ras ho gaya. The mind enjoys so many different pleasures of the world. And it wants different things. The mind is never happy with just the same kind of food every day, the same kind of things every day. It wants something new. Yeah? But the other one, what does it want? Sabad rahe niban. The other one, he wants to be absorbed into Naam. So the Shabad wants to live in Nirvana, supreme bliss. We don't even realize this one exists a lot of the time. Maharaj is making us aware ki ye cheez hai. And if you go through Naam, Maharaj says, Har ras fal rate nanaka karam sacha nisan. If we get the Naam ras, if we experience the Naam, then what will happen to us? We will start to think, I want to be the other bird. Not the one that's running around everywhere trying to get different flavors, but the one who stays attached to Vaheguru's name and has that pure nishani of karam, kirpa. Karam sacha nishan. So Maharaj then carries on to say that for us, when we realize and we make these words true, ki sacha naam mera adharu, by experiencing Naam. It's not going to happen any other way. We must say Vaheguru's name and experience it. So then Maharaj carries on to go, Vajje panch shabad tit kar sabhagye. The one who says these words, ki sacha naam mera adharo, what happens to him? Vajje panch shabad tit kar sabhagye. Sabhagye means fortunate. Lot of pag. We said earlier you need to have the right pag to get the Naam. Now the right pag is being created, the Naam has come, now that house is fully blessed. It's completed its blessing. Ho gaya. Jehdi cheez honi sigi wo mil gayi. Then Maharaj says sabhagye. That house, that soul is blessed. Kar sabhagye. And what happens in Nishani? Vajje panch shabad. There's many meanings of panch shabad. The main two is Anhad Shabad, the first one. That there is this music that is always playing. Divine music. We can't hear it in the normal world, but the people that get to this level, when Naam becomes their support, they can hear this Shabad. Somebody described it. Before you meet somebody, you might hear their voice. If you're coming downstairs and you can hear someone talking, you hear them talking first, then you come and meet them. In the same way, the Panch Shabad, Allah ka nishani, ki now you're going to go and meet him soon. If you look in Japji Sahib in Gyan Khand, Maharaj says, Gyan Khand mein Gyan Parchand, Tithe Naad, Binod Kod Anand, Naad. The sound is there. Odi awaaz aa jandi hegi hai. What's that awaaz? Panch Shabad. The word panch means 5, and this means that there's 5 types of musical instruments that are playing. In this music, the panch shabad, there's 5 types. I'll go through them quickly. One is called tar. Tar means stringed instruments. So like the sarangi, the taus, the rabab. One is tat, metal instruments like chimta, like bells. Then one is kada. Kada means earthen pot. Yeah. Then cham. Cham means leather. So instruments that are made out of leather, like tabla, like the tol, the drums. And then punk. Punk means wind. So you're blowing something. So these are like flute or narsinga or the sank. Yeah, the sank is a shell. All these instruments, they make up this panch shabad. There's 5 instruments that are playing divine music. Notice there's no vajja in there, yeah? Because this is a German instrument called a harmonium. Guru Sahib has given us much higher levels of music, but unfortunately we're stuck with a harmonium right now. Many people don't even realize this is not a traditional Sikh instrument. This was not around in Guru Sahib's time. They banned it from the Gurdwara for many years. They said it's a very low level instrument. Where was it used? It was used in those dodgy places of ill repute, yeah, where women used to dance. There they used this. It's too hard to learn the taus, too hard to learn the dilruba, so we started playing vajje. Yeah? And this is not the highest level of music. So string music. So panch shabad is that supreme music that comes down from above. But the other meaning of the word panch shabad is Vaheguru's name. Because panch means supreme. Panch parvan, panch pardhan, panche pave dargeman. Panch he means the supreme. So what is the panch shabad, the supreme shabad for us? Guru mantra. The Guru shabad, the supreme mantra. In fact, if you go into it even further, you can say that Vajje Panch Shabad. The Naam is always jumping there, but why is it a Panch? Supreme? Because for us, we believe that the Vaheguru mantra is made up of the 4 Shabads anyway. And it's become the supreme. Bhai Gurdasi tells us, Ki Vava Vasudev gave Vishnu. Haha, Hari Krishna gave Har. Rara came from Ram. And then Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave Govind. And Bhai Gurdasi says that when you make all these 4, it says, Chare jage chojugi panchayan vich vijay samave. This get absorbed into the supreme, the panch, the 4 of each of the 4 ages. This becomes absorbed into the supreme. The panch can be ki chare achar ek kar Vaheguru jap mantra japave. That the 5th, the supreme Shabad is then Vaheguru mantra of the 4. We are blessed to have this mantra, we should chant it. It's a supreme mantra. It's of all the 4 ages. And then Bhai Gurdasi says, if you jap Vaheguru mantra, what will happen to you? Jahan te upajya, phir tahan samave. Where you came from, you go back. Makes sense, innit? This mantra is meant to design to break down our ego. The Vaheguru Guru mantra hai, jap homme khoi. When the homme is gone, then we merge back with Vaheguru. So jahan te upajya, phir tahan samave. We will go back to where we came from through the Guru mantra. So Vajje Panch Shabad can also mean that the Naam is always being chanted in that Naam. In that mind is always there. Titakar sabage. Then that house is blessed. Kar sabage sabad vajje kala jit kar tariya. Maharaj says in that blessed house now, that blessed house where the Shabad is always vibrating, Vajdar and Dahega, whichever Shabad you want to take it, the Panch Shabad, both meanings. In that house, then what happens? Kala jitkar tariya. Now if you haven't had Santhya, what people are going to say is Kalla jitkar tariya. Very important. They're going to say Kalla. Now Kalla with the adak means alone. Main Kalla ya. Yeah. But if we say Kala jitkar tariya, then it means the real meaning of the word. Kala means power. Chaddi Kala. His power is Kala. So, Kala jitkar tariya. And the Kala comes to get absorbed into that person. Whose Kala? His Kala. Not that person's Kala, but Vaheguru's Kala. In that heart, where the Naam is always vibrating, where the Shabad is always being heard, in that heart then, Vaheguru's power is there. Karam khand ki bani jor. They have the power of saying something and it will come true. Hukam of the Bhagat is also binding upon Waheguru. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, no hukum, they gave that bachan ki Mata Ganga ji, your son will be a great warrior. Karam Khand ki Bani Jod. And they had a son and he was a great warrior. So that's why people look for bachan for Mahapurukhs, because Mahapurukhs have this power inside them. But Maharaj is saying, if you become that person, you will also have that power, so be very careful what you say as well. It will come true. That's why the Bhagats always speak very little, because their words have so much power. They don't want to expend all that power giving random bachans. Kata bolna, kata sona, kata khana. This is what this person does. Then Vaje Panch Shabad Kar Sabage Shabad Vaje Kala Jitkar Tariya. God's power. And what is God's power going to do for us? For that Bhagat, what will do? ਜੇ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਜੋਰ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਆ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ? ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੰਜ ਦੂਤ ਤੁਧ ਵਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ. This is our biggest problem in this world, isn't it? Panch Doot. These Doots means the enemies. Panch, these 5 enemies of mine, Tud vas kite. No, main vas kite, Tud vas kite. You made those things come into my control. Into control. Not me, you did. Because you gave me your power. Kalajit Kartariya. You gave me your power, and by that power, those horrible demons, you made them come into control. आपे नहीं होंदा, आखन जोर चपहना जोर, जोर ना मंगन दे ना जोर. जिस हाथ जोर कर वेखे सोए, नानक उत्तम नीच ना कोए. He has the power in his hands, so no one is high, no one is low. Whoever is being blessed to control their kaam, krodh, lobh, moh, ahankar is because of Vaheguru's blessings. Don't get ahankar, le mere kol to kaam hega hi nahi bhai, mere kol to krodh hega hi nahi bhai. No, it's his power that gives us. We need his power. Many people in this world might not have kaam or krodh or lobh. But Satsangat ji, they don't have all 5 under control. To bring all 5 into control is by Guru's power. We need his power. Panch Duta Tud vas kite. Only he can get all 5 under control. And Kalajit Kartariya. He will save us. Maharaj gives us a thappi, and by his thappi of his power, of his support, then these 5 come into our control. And Maharaj says, Kal Kantak Marya. What does Kantak mean? Kantak means the kanda, like a thorn. Kal means death. Kal Kantak Marya. You can't kill Kal. Jamdud can't be killed by us. But what we can do is kill the Kantak. Now why is it got kanda, like a needle? Because when you have a needle coming at you, you first have fear, and then you have pain. So this thing refers to the fear of death and the pain of death. Now every person fears death. Most people fear death. And they fear death of other people as well. Koi hor marya hoya, you get scared. If he dies, what's going to happen to me? Apne vaase dar, horan vaase dar. Horan karke dar. Because of them we get scared. And then we got pain. We're scared to die. We get dukh if we start thinking about our own death. If I die tomorrow, you feel unhappy. You get sad. But if somebody else dies in your family, you also get sad. So this is Kantak. Fear and pain of death. You will kill both my fear of death and my pain of death. This is what will happen. If we do this, that means we accept our hukum. Jo ho raha theek hai. Death is the biggest thing that we fear, the biggest death thing that we have dukh about. When those things go, Kal Kantak Marya, and then Tur karam paya tu jinko se naam har ke lage. O Vaheguru, Tur karam paya tud jinko. You did this, Tur karam paya. Tud here means obviously you, Maharaj. You from the beginning ordained who was going to get this. This whole thing, Panch Dutu Davas Kite Kal Kantak Marya, to get to this level, all of this was your plan. Tor Karam. Toro means from the beginning. Tor Karam Paya Tujinko Se Naam Har Ke Lage. Se means those people who are blessed with you कि your kirpa from the very beginning is in their destiny. They are the ones that get attached to God's name. Because Maharaj just talked about the person who's got the five under control, all these things, what's going to happen? There's the hardest one is ego. Hankar sab to aukha hai. And what can happen is, we start thinking, leh, got maqam, krodh, lobh under control, I'm great. No, Maharaj says, nahi, ye tera kaam nahi si. This was not something that you did, it was all His kirpa, tor karam paya. But we get rid of our ego, at this point we say, Maharaj, thank you so much, you brought these 4, 5 things into control, and it's because of your kirpa that this happened in the first place. It's your kirpa that I got the naam in the first place. Take the ego out. Because the hardest thing is to lose is that thing that we done something. But the Bhagat will always say, Maini kitta, it's all your jor. It's all your jor. Aap japaye jape so nao, aap gavaye so har gun gao. It's by His kirpa that we jap His name. It's by His kirpa that we sing His praises. Obviously, initially we have to make efforts. Initially we make efforts, but then later on when we realize, when the naam comes inside us, we realize, Maharaj, it was all your kirpa. I didn't do anything. Pilekha si mere man vich ki main kuch kar raha hega. Asal vich tusi sab kuch kar rahe hege ho. Reality is you were doing everything. It was a mistake in my mind that I thought this way. And then keh nanak teh sukh hoa tit kar anhad vaje. Maharaj says, keh nanak. Again they say something, teh sukh hoa. Those people then, they get to this level, and they can say, Maharaj, hold your kirpa, meri kirpa, todi guru di kirpa hui, guru di kirpa hui. Those people that live at this level, they have the naam, they have the power of God inside them, they have all their things into control, and yet they say everything is your kirpa, teh sukh hoa. Those people have peace. Because they're not lived in ego. Ego is nahi. They're living in pure bliss, in your thankfulness. They बहुत खुशी भी रह रहे हैं, and then कहे नानक तह सुख होआ, and then tit kar anhad vaje. Then they live with this shabad. The anhad shabad. Anhad means unstruck. This word has come up now. पहले पंच शब्द सेगा और anhad shabad आ गया. So same, you can say the same meaning, but the point is unstruck, unhad. कोई बजा नहीं रहा है, आपे ही बज रहा है. It's going by itself. No one is making this music come. You can't look around and see the person blowing the music, but the music is there. Tit kar anhad vaje. All the time this person lives in pure happiness, pure bliss. They're not affected by kaam, krodh, lobh, moh, ahankar. Those things are in their control, but they're living in pure bliss and kirpa of naam. And Maharaj says, they are sukhi. Ohi sukhi hai. तुसी कह लो सुखी बसे मसकीनिया आपने वार तले. They live in sukh because they haven't got the ahankar. They say tur karam paya tud jinko se naam har ke lage. They're the happiest people because they don't say मैं की किता तू सब कुछ किता हैगा. सुखी बसे मसकीनिया आपने वार तले. फिर बड़े बड़े अहंकारिया नानक गर्भ गले. In their ahankar, big people in their ahankar, they rot away. Gal jande hain. Look at a nice fruit, you want to taste it. Gale hua fruit, we throw it in the bin. This is what happens. We don't get parvan there. We don't become acceptable there. Because who will want to accept that fruit which is gale hua? No one. So Maharaj is telling us that stay low, stay niva, accept all his hukam, and then still do naam. And this is the blessings of Anand Sahib for us. We will live in pure Anand, pure Sukh. Now normally from this part, people read the Chevi Pauri of Anand Sahib. Yeah? But obviously next week we're going to go through the Akhri Pauri of Anand Sahib. The 6 Pauri are normally 5, and jump to the 40th. So next week we're not going to, the next one we go through is not going to be the 6th Pauri, it's going to be the 6th Pauri, but that won't be the one that most people are used to. Most people are used to going from here to Andhra, Sunova to Pagiho. That's the 40th Pauri. The 6th Pauri is something else, which we'll go through next week. Ki Sachi Leve Bin Dehe Nimani. If we live this way, then Guru Amar Das Ji's words will come true, and that is what we need. So Pula Jo ke dekhe Bakshin ji, Deho Sajana Sisadiya, Jo Hove, Sahib Sio Bel, Fateh Jawab Fateh Vijana ji, Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki Fateh.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru.